What is up, America, the world, the universe? Law and Disorder coming at you from the local game store here in Richardson, Texas. Live. We are alive.
Here in 2020.
Yes, here in the year of 2020. That's pretty exciting. We haven't said that yet.
No, this is our first show.
Yeah, first time back. We're not in a new venue. We're just in a new location in the venue.
Yeah, we're on the other wall.
Yeah, you got I don't know who these dudes are. I mean, besides Ryu.
Okay, it's Ryu, that's Goku. I don't know the two in the middle.
Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. And I don't know that dude, but that dude's pretty gnarly too.
They're all cool.
So, yeah, we're just hanging out from another angle at the local game store. There's some activity going on right now. It is Smash Brothers evening.
Is it? Let's look at the calendar.
Smash Brothers is on there. Magic the Gathering Commander. Force of Will.
Wow. They have a lot of stuff going on.
They always have stuff going on here, yep. So, first let's thank the sponsors. East Texas Championship Wrestling.
Of course.
Ace Remodeling. I already said East Texas Championship Wrestling.
Yes, Dish Young Ideas.
Yes. And
Texas Soundworks.
Texas Soundworks. So, we're here. And it's been a couple weeks. Glad to be here.
Yes. We're very happy to be here back with you guys. We got some cool stuff planned for 2020. Won't go into the details right now.
No deets just yet.
No deets. It's a secret.
Is it a secret? Is it really a secret?
It's not really a secret.
So, real quick, I'm not going to get on a soapbox or anything because that's just not what I do. I had a little thing happen in my family last week. My grandfather passed away, 85 years old. What I want to tell everybody is cherish your family, cherish the time that you have with them, and understand that sometimes you say you're going to do something or you're going to do something and you run out of time. You know? And that's probably the biggest regret I have is that I have about that much time that I ran out of. You know? So, short story. My grandfather was ill. My son, who's 6, he couldn't see him because of his condition, like he was contagious. You know, it was respiratory stuff. They didn't want Andrew to get sick. So we made a little video for him. And it was one of those situations where it's like, we're going to make this video so that you can talk to him, and then we're going to show it to him later tonight. Well, guess what? Later tonight didn't happen. So just letting everybody know, like, man, whenever you just don't know. And if you do something or you say something, or it's on your heart, just say it. Just do it. Because that's probably one of the biggest regrets I'm going to have in my life. So
I'm sorry for your loss.
Well, thank you. I mean, it is what it is. He lived a good life.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm not going to hold that in. I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay.
And anything else I feel like I need to tell you, I'm going to tell you right away, okay? Good or bad?
You need a shower.
Like, I think you need to trim your beard.
I think you need a shower.
Have y'all seen this beard? Like, look at this beard. Like that. He was brushing. He had, like, a hairbrush. And was literally, like, brushing it.
I had a brush.
Like, a girl would brush her hair, but it was his face.
It's a brush for my beard.
Is it like a beard brush?
It actually is a beard brush. I mean, I think it's a brush for any kind of hair. But
you should just call it the bush brush because it looks like you could, like, brush a bush with it, and your face looks extra bushy right now.
Somebody told me that, like, they said if I got a hair lice brush, like the kind that you use when you have hair lice, they said that thing is so fine. They're like, man, your beard will be so straight and smooth. They go, you should look into one of those. And it's like, I don't know if I want to buy a lice kit just to, like, get that brush.
Are they expensive?
No, but I just don't think I want to walk into, like, Walmart with a lice kit. And
oh,
this big
man, everyone's
beard.
going to think you have lice.
I know.
Ew.
But they said that one right there it was a trick somebody read. So.
Ew.
Yeah.
I had lice once. It was horrible.
Really?
And I had really long hair like I do now. Like, I had hair down. Well, it was actually longer. It was all the way down to my butt. My hair is almost to my butt. Not quite. But when I was a kid, I was probably, like, I think I was 8. I was pretty young. And I just remember getting lice. I didn't know what it was, but my mom went to take me to get my hair cut, like, trimmed. And the lady at the salon was like, I can't cut her hair. She has lice.
Oh, my God.
So she just, like, gave me a braid, and then I remember whatever shampoo my parents tried to use didn't work.
Oh yeah.
And I remember they sat me down in the kitchen, and my mom and my dad like each had, I guess, special combs. I don't know what they had, but they literally like parted my hair like a small section at a time and just combed all the lice out of my hair.
Yeah, but they're like really fine teeth.
Yep.
And that's what they were saying. They go, if I use one of those, the teeth are so fine, it'll get out all these little kinks I got in here.
But it took hours. Like, I remember sitting there just eating popsicles, and they were having to like keep me awake because I just had to sit there for like 4 or 5 hours straight while they did that.
Young Caitlin's like, I don't want my hair.
What my parents did for me. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
I don't want my hair brushed anymore.
Please don't chop all my hair off.
Hey, at least I didn't cut it off.
I know. At least I didn't like shave it or something.
At least I didn't have to do that.
Yep.
Well, that leads us to the perfect segment. We're talking law and disorderly news tonight.
Woo.
So, there's been some craziness going on, obviously in the world, America, the world, everywhere. So let's get into it. Let's get smack dab into 2020. Is it 2020 or 2020? What are we calling this?
The Roaring 20s.
The Roaring 20s. So, let's get this thing going. I got a good story to start the year off.
Okay.
Pornhub. I don't know if you know about Pornhub.
I have heard.
It's a site that has porn.
No way.
Free.
No way. Free?
Free.
Oh my God.
The website Pornhub has been sued by a deaf man. Pornhub has been sued by a deaf man.
Okay.
Why would you think a deaf person would sue Pornhub?
Maybe they were playing music he couldn't hear. I don't know.
He's suing them over lack of closed captioning in their films.
Closed captioning.
You know, closed captioning, the one that tells you like the words. Like,
that's not closed captioning. That's subtitles.
No. For deaf people, it's closed captioning.
Oh.
Like you didn't know that. There's a setting on your phone and on TVs and all that for closed captioning that it types out everything so that the people, the hearing impaired can see, they can read what's going on. It's like their subtitles. So this
How
guy.
are they different then?
Well, subtitles are from a foreign language. On subtitles, it's like if you were watching a film in Spanish, they're speaking in Spanish and the subtitles are in English.
Yeah, but you can watch something that they're speaking in English and still have subtitles on that are in English.
That's called closed captioning.
Oh, okay.
That's
my
what I'm
bad.
saying. That's
I guess
called-
when okay.
It's called closed captioning.
I didn't know there was much talking in those videos.
Well, okay, that's the funny part. He's saying that he gets lost in the storyline.
Wait, there's storylines? I thought it was just porn. How
I mean,
intricate is it?
Some of these are pretty intricate.
Like there's like a storyline, like they're acting?
You know, like the naughty schoolgirl or the bad teacher or the nanny or whatever. No, there's really not. I mean, there's really not like a storyline, but there is. So
enough to where this guy needs the closed captioning so he can follow along.
Yeah, the guy is saying that there's not enough content that has closed captioning, so he's filing a class action lawsuit. But one of the reasonings behind that is that he can't follow along with the story, which. But see, here's the funny thing, though, is that if you're actually just doing the closed captioning, once the actual act of doing the deed starts, it's just a lot of oh yeah, girl.
I was about to, like I said, I didn't think there was that much talking in those videos.
I just think it's pretty funny that there's.
Yeah, that's going to be what the closed captioning is. Like a lot of just like sound effects.
And then I
typed out in a word.
And then it has to be politically correct. So it would say something like rear end smacking.
Sorry.
That's not the sound it makes. But yeah, it has to be like PC, so it can't say any like
Can't
dirty.
say butt.
I don't know if maybe it does say butt, but it would say something like rear end smacking,
Oh my gosh.
gurgling, choking sound. I don't know.
Breathing heavily.
Breathing heavily, heavy panting. But then the other one would be like the caption where it says like plumber enters the room.
Oh my gosh. I mean, he can see that he's not blind.
But that guy's a genius. Who
Does he have any chance at winning this?
I think so.
Really?
I think so.
Really?
I mean, if you win some money off of that, that's, touche, buddy. Seriously.
Good for you, dude.
It's just like, dude, okay. Nobody thought of it. Why not?
You go.
I mean, so let's move on. Let's move on to something
Okay.
else. Am I going again?
Yeah, I don't have my story in front of me. I can't find it.
You talking about the first story?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well then, let's go with this story. This comes out of is it Buda, Texas? Buda, Texas.
Buda, Texas.
spelled-
Where's Buda, Texas?
It's down there, south of Austin, like in between Austin and San Marcos, I believe.
Okay.
So the title, the headline: 2 arrested after argument escalated into sword fight. Police say. So, officers arrested 25-year-old Kelsey Lynn White and 28-year-old Joshua James Ray. Spokesperson for the Buda Police Department said that someone called 911 about an argument at the Carrington Oaks Apartments near Walmart off of I-35 in Buda, Texas. When officers arrived, the pair admitted to swinging swords at each other, intending to hurt one another.
Oh my god, you know what would have been even funnier if they had like lightsabers?
The plastic.
Would that even be considered a real fight? They're just lightsabers.
Well, okay, here's my question. So, I mean, it's like aggravated assault, I think is what it's considered, or assault with a deadly weapon. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. But okay, so let's say it's like a sword, like a prop sword. Mm-hmm. You know, like you can buy the Braveheart sword,
Yeah.
whatever, a replica.
Mm-hmm.
But what if it's not sharp? What if it's just 2 guys with like blunt swords just swinging at each other? I mean, I suppose it's still an aggravated assault because you're making it into a weapon, but it's
But
not.
you're actively trying to hurt the other person.
But it's not really a weapon. It's just like a prop that you just mount in your bedroom.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen that. Because a lot of 99% of officers now have dash cams or body cams.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see the body cam footage.
Okay. So I posted the link to the article in the comments because I want you guys to look at the profile pictures of these people. Okay, the guy on the right obviously looks like someone who would get in a fight. I think he's just missing a bow tie, but I can see him fighting with a sword. This person on the left, well, I can't tell if this is a boy or a girl because it doesn't look like a definite boy or a definite girl. And then the name Kelsey, that's a girl's name, right? Or is that one of those unisex names I don't know about?
Kelsey could be a female or a male.
Yeah, like Kelly. It's like one of those names.
Yes.
So I can't tell if Kelsey is a man or a woman. I'm sorry, Kelsey. It's just a bad picture.
I'm just trying to figure out what the little things
girl or boy, like what is on your face? Like, did you get punched in the face or do you just have like some serious baggage because your eyes don't look very good?
You know who does that a lot? Dogs. Dogs, when they have really bad allergies, they'll get those little weird things under there.
Oh, honey, go to the doctor.
I just and I don't know, is that like from crying too much or?
No. I'm a girl. I've done my fair share of crying for long extended periods of time, and my eyes have never done that.
They've never looked
no,
like that.
Like the actual eyelid will puff up, but not all the way down here, not the bags under your eyes. So it looks like this person either got punched in the face or they're having like an allergic reaction to something. I don't know, but man, whoever Kelsey is, man or woman, go to the doctor.
No, Adrian. Adrian said I'm late. Can you start over? No, Adrian. You can actually watch anything that we record. You can watch it for eternity. It's on Facebook for eternity. Mm-hmm. Or you can shout out to Spotify. You can listen to it on Spotify, and you can watch it on YouTube. Search Law and Disorder Podcast.
You can see our pretty, pretty faces.
So see, no, you do not have to go live. Moving on to Florida. Let's just jump into Florida. Because Florida is always crazy.
Who doesn't like Florida?
Florida woman accused of hitting man with BMW trying to urinate on deputy. So a Florida woman is facing criminal charges linked to 2 separate battery incidences. She was seen smiling in her arrest mugshot when it was released by the police.
She actually looks like a very sweet lady in her mugshot.
Serena Probus of Brooksville, Florida, was first taken into custody on January 1st, so she started off the year right, after being arrested for a domestic dispute and allegedly trying to urinate on a police officer. She was slapped with a further charge for allegedly hitting a man with a car in October of last year.
Okay, Okay, as a girl, it's very hard to pick, like, where your pee's gonna go. Like, I can sit down in a toilet or a bucket or an outhouse, but how does she attempt to pee on an officer? Because guys can at least aim, like, a little bit, right? Like, you guys can kind of direct your stream, but girls can't do that.
No, you're
Did
right.
she, like, sit on top of him and try to go? I think that's what she did. I think she probably tried to push him down, sit on top of him, and pee.
So, here, let's tell the story of what happened. This is New Year's Day, by the way.
Oh, man.
Suspect was confronted by the victim after drinking and trying to leave a home with a 6-month-old child. So she's a real winner there. The victim tried to stop Probus from leaving by wrapping her arms around the suspect, but she was bitten on the hand by Probus. The New Year's drama didn't end there, says this reporter. The defendant became verbally and physically aggressive by using vulgar language and began to kick the rear driver and passenger side windows of a police officer's vehicle. The defendant was then removed from the vehicle and placed in a hobble restraint. I don't know what, I guess it like keeps you from fighting. I don't know what a hobble restraint is.
I don't know.
So in the process of placing Miss Probus in restraints, the defendant attempted to urinate on the officer. And she also spat on the officer too.
Ew, girl. Girl.
Yeah. So,
Did it say if she was on drugs?
no.
She's probably
But
on
apparently in
drugs.
2019 is when she tried to run over somebody. That was another charge for trying to run over somebody with a BMW. Going 15 miles an hour. The victim was on the hood until she put the brakes on. So, I just like the fact that she started off New Year's in some kind of hobus restraint and peeing on a cop. Like, I don't understand.
And tried to steal a kid. Let's not forget, like, the
I
worst
don't think she tried to
thing.
steal the kid. I think she was taking her own kid. Because what mother would take off aggressively in somebody else's kid? Not this mother of the year.
And then she bit the other person.
She bit the other person.
And let's talk about her last name, Probus. It sounds like a disease you would catch.
Probus?
Yeah. Like, I tested positive for Probus.
That's Can we save that and use it as a soundbite?
When you get my antibiotics, I caught Probus.
We do a Law and Disorder promo. It's just like in your voice, like I'm positive for Probus. I don't know what it is, but I got it.
Oh, man.
So, moving on. Is it me again?
Yeah, I lost my news article.
It's me again. That was your news article.
Yeah, and that was the one I lost.
That was yeah.
I don't have my normal computer. I lost it.
It's true. Okay, here's one that seemed like it's a little controversial. I'm not a very big fan of the outcome of how this is going to turn out for this lady. So, in Oklahoma, in the great state of Oklahoma, we got a young lady that was arrested. Actually, I think she was arrested yesterday or today. She is a teacher, a 40-year-old teacher in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a volleyball coach and a teacher. She's accused of having a 3-way sexual encounter with a male student
No.
over the age of 18 and a former teacher. So,
Was the former teacher a man or a woman?
a former female teacher.
Of course it was a woman.
So she's on leave right now. Obviously, she's been arrested. So it is a crime. Let's backtrack. The kid's 18, but because she's an educator, it is still illegal. That's a whole different felony. So, I guess my question is, and I read it in the article that the other teacher or the other former teacher is not being charged. I don't know, man. Like,
Sergio thinks it's unfair.
I think it's unfair that the other teacher. It's like if you're going to charge one, charge the other, or don't charge either. I mean, like I said, the law is that the kid is a student, but the kid's not a kid. One, he's an adult, but at the same time, he's still a student. But it's like, come on, man, you're hitting her, but not the other one, even though the other one was an educator and should know better.
Okay, he was telling me this story earlier, and I straight up said that former teacher is probably the smartest person that was in that room. because she knew that, one, this kid was 18, so she wouldn't be a child sex offender from this, and two, she was not an educator at the time, so she knew she couldn't get charged for that. She's a smart person. Now, was she doing the right thing? No. By no means no. I'm not saying that. But I do think she was very smart in knowing nothing would happen to her.
I just think it's one of those, like, I think it's a raw deal. It shouldn't have happened, period, because obviously the kid is still a student. But it's like, I don't know, man. It's just like...
And then the teacher that is hired, that was his teacher, she should have known better. She shouldn't have done that. Two of my best friends are teachers, and they know better. They would never do something like that.
To me, it seems like one of those situations. It's like, it's either everybody gets in trouble or nobody gets in trouble. That's the way I see it.
That's not how the world works.
I'm just saying that's a really like dicey one.
No.
Because I think the other one should get in trouble.
Mm-mm.
I don't think.
I think I would have been a really good lawyer, because I'm like, no, this is clearly black and white. Like, I don't think that. No, there's no legal reason that person could have gotten in
What's
trouble.
up, buddy?
Do y'all play Zelda by any chance?
We do not.
Sorry. I wish. I don't know how.
We got a kid that just interrupted our podcast asking if we play Zelda.
He's got cool blue hair, though.
I do. I like the hair.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the kid. No, hey, awesome.
What was it?
Pagan over here is like, I'm sorry. It's like, no, they're very much allowed.
What are they saying?
We're talking about the teacher and,
yeah.
and the kid.
Yeah, no. There's no legal. There's nothing tying that former teacher to getting prosecuted for this, unless the 18-year-old, called the rape card. But let's be honest, that 18-year-old's not calling the rape card.
No, he's not calling the rape
He's
card.
not calling the rape card.
No, he's not calling the rape card. And I think I heard somewhere else. I'm trying to verify it real quick. I think they had actually called another former student at one point. I think they had actually tried to call another former student in, like, on a different encounter, and that kid declined. So
this is their second choice.
I think this was their. You know what? I don't know. That part I don't know. I don't know if this kid was the first choice and they tried to do it a second time, or if this kid was.
Well, they should have done it with the first kid, because then that teacher wouldn't have gotten in trouble at all.
They should have just gone and picked, like, they should have waited till he graduated. They should have got a kid that was a freshman in college.
Why can't you get someone your own age? How old was the teacher? Did it say?
40. Yeah, and the kid's 18.
40? 40? I was thinking this teacher was probably like 28, 29, 30.
No, she's 40.
And the other former teacher was?
I don't know, because she's not a suspect. They don't have to divulge her information. Doesn't that suck too? They don't have to divulge her information. There is no record that this. All they can say is that this happened, and she's charged with this. But they don't have to. The other lady, whatever. It's just like, yeah, this 18-year-old dude got something with a lady, a woman.
Someone who could have been his mom.
If mom had made kind of a bad mistake, yeah. Early on in life.
That just blows my mind. Blows my mind.
Oh no, we ain't done yet.
Oh man, what gets worse?
I don't know if it gets worse, but maybe. This is in Cypress, Texas, which is near Houston. It's a neighborhood near Houston. Mm-hmm. Squirrel terrorizes Cypress neighborhood, has sent 2 mothers to the hospital.
A squirrel?
A squirrel.
A squirrel.
Yes. And we're talking blood-curdling attacks that have left an entire neighborhood in Cypress terrorized. Quote, this is from a resident, quote, "We usually don't go outside in the daytime because he comes out in the daytime."
Look at this squirrel. Look at this big.
This squirrel apparently has been very aggressive over the last 2 weeks. It wound up biting 2 mothers, and it bit a lady. One of the ladies, her name is French Amisquita. She tried to stop the animal from chewing on her front door, and he got mad and bit her. When I stepped outside the door, he leapt on me and bit my arm. I pulled him off, threw him to the ground, and he tried to get in the house. I couldn't get into the house because he came back and he bit this leg. And she's like, I mean, I guess she's just pointing at one of the legs. She had stitches and bite marks to prove it. And then it also attacked a lady named Katie Herrera. And Katie Herrera says it's scary. I'm just very grateful that it actually attacked me and not my kids. So, what the heck? Like, squirrel.
I wonder if it has like a nest nearby and it's trying to protect its babies or something.
I don't know. Or maybe it's rabid. Maybe it's a rabid squirrel. It's got
I
rabies.
hope they got tested for rabies.
But, okay. Adrian Moncada says, call Duck Dynasty, they eat squirrels. So, okay. Here was a thought. When it comes to animals, like, you know, people, there's always stories of people fighting animals for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's harder to fight, let's say a dog, or maybe even like a bear, versus a squirrel? Which one do you think is a harder fight? So we use three different categories: bear, biggest. What was the other one I said?
Dog and squirrel.
Bear, dog, and squirrel.
Okay.
Of those three categories, which one do you think is the hardest to fight?
The squirrel is the easiest to fight.
Is it?
Yes. I think the dog is the hardest to fight
Why the dog?
because how dogs can be and how protective they are. And I mean, they're big enough to do serious damage to you, but small enough to move pretty quick.
Okay.
Now, bears, obviously, if a bear is actually going to maul me, I'm probably going to die. I can't stop a 2-ton bear, however much they weigh. But I do know bears typically aren't aggressive unless they feel threatened by you. And then what do you do when a bear's going to attack you? Don't you just play dead? Isn't that like the thing?
I think that's what Leonardo DiCaprio did. And guess what? It almost killed him.
But I personally am more likely to be attacked by a dog, and I feel like a dog would do me more damage. Also, you know, dogs are pets, and if you own a dog and then you're attacked by some random stray dog, like, you're probably a person who loves dogs, and maybe you don't want to hurt that dog, even if it is attacking you. Like, there's a part of your soul saying, I can't hurt this animal, I'm a dog lover, even though it's attacking you.
But my question is, why are you not afraid of that squirrel?
It's this big, and I get that it can move pretty fast and bite you, but I'm not going to die from a squirrel bite.
But think about it this way. A squirrel, again, is like this big, maybe like 2-3 pounds. And that squirrel is going to like bite your neck, and then by the time you try to grab him, he's bit the front of your neck, and he's bit your armpit, and he's bit your butt, and he just keeps going and going. And he won't get tired, and it's going to be like death of 1,000 bites.
I don't think I'm going to get 1,000 bites from the squirrel.
I'm just saying, like, how, like, you don't have...
You got to be able to grab it. That one lady was able to grab it, but you can't just grab it and throw it down and hope it goes away. It's going to come back. You got to grab it and kill it. Like, you got to squish it or
squeeze the life
drown
out of
it or wring its neck. I don't know.
Beat him. Like,
put it in a cage.
Hold him and just beat him onto the concrete.
Yeah, like, you can't let go. That's like the worst thing you can do.
And that's the weird thing, though, is that, I mean, obviously the first lady didn't do it because the second lady got bit. If the first lady had taken matters in her own hands, I'm telling you, you grab it, and once you get a hold of it, you're just like...
And I mean...
Closed captioning for
Come
the
on,
sound.
guys. Like, if you see it in your tree or in your yard, just grab your BB gun and shoot it.
But you don't know that the squirrel's aggressive at that moment in time.
They know what squirrel it is. Or if it tries to attack you, or let's say it is at your front door, grab your BB gun, go out the side door, and shoot at it while it's still there, you know?
So, okay, here's one thing that I want to remind people. We are animals. And so you hear of all these people that, like, you know, they get into a fight with a dog, or they get attacked by a dog, or they get attacked by a bear, whatever. You are an animal. And most people punch. They want to punch or slap or whatever. You got teeth.
We are not animals.
You got teeth just like the damn dog. You got teeth just like the bear. You got teeth just like the squirrel. If you get a hold of him, bite him. Just bite him.
We're not animals.
We have, what are these, canines, incisors, whatever
yeah,
they're called?
and human evolution has has shaved them down to where they're flat and not pointy like a dog.
But you still have these. These are the pointy ones. You have
yeah,
these.
and back millions of years ago,
They were
when
all pointy.
we all needed them to eat
I'm
our
just
food.
saying, if you get
We're
into
not
something,
animals.
instead of trying to like, if you can't squeeze it and you think he's gonna get away and you got him like this, just like, just bite him, just get him,
I probably wouldn't bite it. That's gross.
bite his ass. Just
You would bite the squirrel. If that squirrel's attacking you and you grabbed it,
If it's
in
between-
your hand, you're gonna take your teeth and just chomp down.
if it's
Go to
between
town.
me and the squirrel, yes, I'm gonna
Ew.
bite his head off,
No. I'd throw up.
and then you get you some Listerine and rinse it out and good to go. I'm just saying, like, if you have a bear and a bear's attacking you, bite his hand. If you got a dog coming after you, bite his paw, bite his tail, just bite him. You don't have to punch him. Just bite
So
his
a
ass.
bite's worse than a punch.
I'm just saying. Well, hey, you must have never been bit by a little kid.
No, I haven't.
Okay, get bit by a little kid and you'll know.
I'm not a parent. I don't have a little kid.
Little kids will bite and they will like hold, like you can pick them up and their teeth are still attached to you.
I
Like,
never bit anybody.
I'm just saying, like,
What's wrong with your kid? No offense, Myrna and Andrew, but what's wrong? Is Andrew biting you?
no, I'm just saying, no, Andrew has bitten me a couple of times, but not, excuse me, not that bad. I'm just saying, just bite. It's okay to bite. You don't have to always punch. Sometimes you can't punch. You can't punch your way out of a fight sometimes. Sometimes
So
just bite.
the reason I'm not going to be able to bite my way out of a fight
'Cause you
is
have dentures?
because when I was a preteen and I had braces, I had this thing installed into my mouth because I had an overbite, and so it made my jaw grow into a certain position. But ever since I had it, my jaw doesn't open as wide as it did when I was younger because
Oh.
it grew into a certain position, and now like I can tell when I eat, like if I'm trying to like eat a big burger or something, like I can't take a huge bite because my jaw grew into a certain position and only opens so far. So I don't know if I'd be able to do the biting thing.
I thought you were going to say because you have dentures and you're afraid that they'll just like fall out.
No. So what do people do that do have dentures? They can't bite.
No, they're S.
You're gonna
They're
have to smother.
They're
Smother it.
Yeah, smother it. Why not? Smother it. There's so many ways to kill this squirrel.
Well, like Crystal said that squirrels are normally scared of people and they typically run away from humans, but I guess the squirrel's the anomaly.
You have to raise them from a baby. Okay, well, not many people I know like get squirrels and raise them as a baby. And I don't even know, is that legal? Can you have a squirrel?
I don't really know the laws. I've seen that video of that crazy squirrel lady who had a pet squirrel and she would like dress it up and it would sit on her shoulder.
Like a parrot?
Yeah.
Can you raise, like, I know there's certain animals that you can have and certain ones that you can't, I guess wild animals. I couldn't see like the downside to having a squirrel, except the fact that it might have rabies, but
Well, I mean, if you get it when it's a baby and it stays in your house the whole time, it's not going to have rabies.
because I mean, really, isn't that like the same thing as like a gerbil or a hamster? It's basically just like a little wild animal that you've turned into your own pet.
Ooh, or what if you had like a flying squirrel? Let's say you had like a 2 or 3 story house and you can just like drop it from the 3rd floor and it would just fly down.
Now, now, what if you just got the squirrel and you didn't know if it was a flying squirrel or not, and you just dropped it?
Well, that's just negligence right there.
Oh.
You should be charged for animal cruelty.
Shout out to Crystal Boyd. She has a squirrel apparently. So
Well, I'm glad yours doesn't attack you. But if it does, just bite it.
I know I'm gonna bite it. I'm gonna bite a squirrel if that thing attacks me. So yeah, I think I don't even know where the hell this thing went. I think that's long disorderly news.
Yeah, we'll end it there at the rabies squirrel.
So the moral of the story is, don't pee on cops. Watch out for killer squirrels.
If you're a teacher, don't have a threesome with a student.
Yeah, and if you're an ex-teacher, go ahead and do it because you're not getting in trouble anyways.
Yep.
What else did we talk about?
Appreciate people while they're here.
Yeah, appreciate everybody while they're here. 2020 is here. 2020, whatever this year is. Yeah, we'll be here all year long. Local game store here in Richardson, Texas. Thank you one more time to our sponsors, East Texas Championship Wrestling, Ace Remodeling,
Dish Young Ideas.
Dish Young Ideas,
And Texas Soundworks.
Texas Soundworks. On behalf of myself and Miss Kate.
Hey.
Good show, by the way. Man,
Thank
we
you.
came back and hit it hard. We're Law and Disorder. We'll holler at you guys next time.
Bye.
Latest.